parent. Welcome to the Jnanjyoti Education. Guys, as we promised you that every Saturday we brought you the current affairs. Today we are going to discuss the few events which happened in recent past. So guys, today we are going to talk about a very important topic called as International Big Cat Alliance. International Big Cat Alliance. Now, the importance of this topic is that this topic is covered in GS part of the prelims, as well as it is also covered in mains. So in mains, it is covered in GS3. Okay. So from the prelims and from the mains point of view, this topic is very, very important. This topic is covered under the environment part in our preparations. Okay. So what is this International Big Cat Alliance? So I will start the topic from the news. The news is that recently Government of India signed an agreement to set up a headquarter of this institution, International Big Cat Alliance, in India. Now this is the news. Recently Government of India signed an agreement to set up an international organization in India. Its headquarter in India, and that international organization is Big Cat Alliance, and that's a huge opportunity for India, because when we talk about international relationship, there is a one part is called as soft power. So in order to exert the soft power, we must be able to exercise the soft power by commanding various international organizations. So in that direction, this topic is very, very important. So what is this International Big Cat Alliance? This topic will be covered into the economic part and the current affairs part of your examination. Okay. So I will share some details of this International Big Cat Alliance, that it have a total membership of 5 members. So throughout the world, there are certain big cats. Now let me first tell you about the big cats. What are the big cats? Big cats are the animals from the cat family. You must have heard about the lion, then tigers, then cheetah, leopard, snow leopard, and all that. So there are total 7 big cats available into the wildlife. So these big cats are under threat by the poaching, by the illegal killing of these animals. So in order to protect these big cats throughout the world, there was a huge movement is going on, particularly led by the India, and that's a proud movement for the India, that India is leading the world in order to protect these big cats. Now why these big cats? These big cats are the keystone species into the ecosystem. These big cats control the food supply chain. They are the predator into the supply chain. They are at the higher trophic level into the supply chain. Now they maintain the supply chain. If we extinguish or eliminate all these big cats from the ecosystem and from the biodiversity, we will see there are the negative consequences of these events to us and to the environment also. So that's why protective measures should be taken there, and hence India is leading for protection of these big cats, and hence an international organization is set up called as International Big Cat Alliance. In the last year, India signed the International Big Cat Alliance, and then it is decided that the International Big Cat Alliance headquarter will be situated into the India, and in that direction an agreement is signed by the Government of India. So that's the news. So there are total 5 countries which are members of the International Big Cat Alliance. So these 5 countries are very, very important from the point of view of examination. Now which are these 5 countries? So India, of course, then Nicaragua, Eswatini, Liberia, and Somalia. Basically India, which is in Asia, Nicaragua, which is in the Caribbean Sea. Okay. So there is a homework for you also. Just find out the location of these all countries on your world map. Okay. So India is in Asia, Nicaragua is in Caribbean Seas, Liberia and Somalia is in Africa. So these are the 5 different member countries of this International Big Cat Alliance. Now let's look at the background. So the International Big Cat Alliance is proposed by the India in 2019 itself. But then no action was taken. Hence, in 2023, the final action was taken and International Big Cat Alliance was set up in April 2023 officially. So we must remember this date, that in April 2023, International Big Cat Alliance was officially established, India being as its founding member. Everybody should note this point, that India is a founding member of the International Big Cat Alliance. Then what is April 2023? So in 2023, India was celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Project Tiger. Project Tiger, which was started in 1973. So while India was celebrating the Project Tiger, which was one of the big cat family member, India launched the International Big Cat Alliance officially April 2023. So let us first understand what is Project Tiger. Then we will move toward the further information regarding this topic. The Project Tiger is a very, very ambitious project in India. It was started in 1973, 50 years ago, 51 years ago. What is this Project Tiger? Basically, Project Tiger is a project run by the government of India to save, to conserve and to protect tiger and its habitat also. So in 1973, under Indira Gandhi government, they set up the Project Tiger. What is this Project Tiger? What are its key objectives? So its key objectives are simple: to protect tiger population, to preserve the natural habitats of the tiger, and to reduce human wildlife conflict. These are the basic objectives of the Project Tiger. Now, how will the government will protect the tiger? So in order to protect the tiger, government of India created the tiger reserves. What is tiger reserves? Basically, tiger reserves are the protected area. What do you mean by protected area? That these areas are demarcated by the law and they are protected by the law. That means no other human activity is allowed in this protected zone. Only the tiger and its natural environment can be present there, and no human activity can perform there in this region. If any human activity is performing, then it is considered as illegal and necessary punitive action will be taken. So such protective areas are called as tiger reserve. Initially in 1973, when the Project Tiger was launched, they constitute 9 tiger reserves in India. In 1973, how many tiger reserves in India? Total 9 tiger reserves in India. And now when we look in 2024, after the 51 years, there are total 57 tiger reserves in India. So we increase the number of tiger reserves from 9 in 1973 to the 57 in 2024. And now that's a huge jump, correct? And we also got some success. Right now, India is having the highest number of tiger population. More than around 3,000 tigers are alive in India. Thanks to the Tiger Project Tiger. Understood? Now, these tiger reserves need to be managed. Hence, in order to manage these tiger reserves, an agency was formed, and that agency is called as National Tiger Conservation Authority, NTCA. What is NTCA? NTCA is government-run organization whose primary business is to manage the affairs of the tiger reserves. All the decisions regarding the tiger reserves are taken control by the NTCA. So NTCA, which is under Ministry of Environment and Forest, NTCA, which is under Ministry of Environment and Forest, is controlling the tiger reserves in India. That means they have the primary responsibility to run the Project Tiger. Understood? Even right now, NTCA also got the new responsibilities. Right now, Government of India is introducing cheetah. Cheetah is another one member of the big cat families. So in around 1952, cheetah was extincted into the India. Once they were found in India, but due to the poaching and illegal killing of these animals, around 1952 they got extinguished from the India. So this cheetah, which belong to the higher trophic level into the biodiversity, generate many problems, environmental problems into the biodiversity. Hence, Government of India is now trying to relocate this cheetah into the India. है ना. They borrowed this cheetah from the Africa and they now relocated into the India. Now who is controlling or who is regulating this cheetah, project cheetah now? Again NTCA. Understood? So that's a little bit more information for you. So that's how the project Tiger, on its 50th anniversary of the project Tiger, government of India officially launched International Big Cat Alliance. Now what are the objectives of the International Big Cat Alliance? Basically, the objective of International Big Cat Alliance is to combat illegal wildlife trade. What do you mean by this illegal wildlife trade? That people are doing illegal activities in the jungles, particularly hunting and poaching. है ना? Why? Because these big cats were killed for their byproducts. है ना? For example, their skins, है ना? Leather, particularly to say. है ना? So they got killed for these type of items. So we called it as illegal trade, illegal wildlife trade. So in order to combat illegal wildlife trade and to conserve their natural habitats, जे कुठले इथं मोठे मोठे जे प्राणी आहेत, चित्ता, वाघ, सिंह, ह्या सगळ्या प्राण्यांना प्रोटेक्ट करण्यासाठी पण आणि त्यांच्या हॅबिटॅट म्हणजे त्यांच्या घराला पण प्रोटेक्ट करण्यासाठी इंटरनॅशनल बिग कॅट अलायन्स क्रिएट करण्यात आलेला आहे. देन दिस International Big Cat Alliance is also going to address some of the recent problems associated with the wildlife, that is climate change, impact of climate change. So as we can understand, this climate change is creating impact in each and every sector throughout the world, including the biodiversity and the environment also. Okay, so that's why this Big Cat Alliance is also going to focus on the impact of the climate change on the life of these 7 big cats which we are talking about. Now, under the International Big Cat Alliance, what are their focus? So their focus is on 7 big cat species. Conservation of total 7 big cat species. Now these 7 big cat species are available throughout the world. In the different part of the world, they are available. It is not necessary that the 7 big cats should be available in a one country. For example, in India, not all types of big cat is present. Out of 7, only 5 types of big cats are available in India. That means these 7 big cats are not available in any particular country. So their focus was straightforward, the 7 big cat, to conservation of the 7 big cat species. Now, which are these 7 big cats? The first one is tiger, then lion, leopard, snow leopard, puma, jaguar, and cheetah. I will repeat these 7 big cats animal for you: the tiger, lion, leopard, snow leopard, puma, jaguar, and cheetah. So these are the 7 big cat species which are going to be conserved under the International Big Cat Alliance. These animals and their habitat is going to be protected under this alliance. So what do you mean by this? There will be coordinated efforts by the member countries here. Right now there are 5 member countries. So these 5 member countries will have a coordination in order to protect these animals and their habitat. म्हणजे ते जनावर आणि त्यांचं घर यांना प्रोटेक्ट करण्यासाठी 5 हे जे मेंबर कंट्रीज जातात किंवा फ्युचर मध्ये जे वाढतील ते सगळे काय करणार आहेत, एकत्रपणे काम करणार आहेत त्या ठिकाणीला. कोऑर्डिनेटेड अप्रोच विल बी देअर. Understood? So out of these 7, only 5 big cats are available in India. Which are them? Tiger, lion, leopard, snow leopard, and cheetah. Cheetah is recently introduced in India. Just I told you. Cheetah naturally got extinct from India. It was last seen in 1952, but after that it got extinct. So recently we introduced cheetah again into the India. So that's how we found 5 types of big cats in India. We do not find the other big cats just like jaguar and puma into the India. Understood? We do not find these big cats in India. So we must understand this thing. Now here are some extra information regarding these big cats. Now if you look at the question papers, PYQs, previous year question papers, then you will encounter with certain questions. है ना. Now these questions are directly belong to the environment, है ना. Now what kind of these questions? That they directly ask questions according to the status, recent status of a particular animal. So we are discussing these 7 big cats. So there are likely chances, or there are likely possibilities that commission can ask a question regarding the status of any one of these 7 big cats. Okay. So here are the certain screenshot. For example, tiger, है ना. Now this is the image of Royal Bengal tiger, है ना, national animal of India. Correct. Now this tiger have a different status. I will briefly discuss you what are the status. The first status is IUCN status, International Union of Conservation of Nature. What is this IUCN? IUCN is an international organization whose primary business to help in nature conservation. Now this IUCN also produce a red list. Red list means what? List of threatened animals, है ना. संपूर्ण जगामध्ये जे कुठले थ्रेटन किंवा जे धोक्यात असलेले जीव आहेत त्यांची एक लिस्ट म्हणजे रेड लिस्ट. रेड लिस्ट इज क्रिएटेड बाय द IUCN which involve the threat position of various animals. For example, IUCN status for the tiger, threat status for the tiger is endangered, which is point of concern, है ना. That means now this animal is in endangered status. Like the IUCN, there are other status too, है ना. Other status like CITES listing. Now what is CITES? CITES is an international agreement which control the illegal trade into these animals, है ना. There are certain protected animals under this act, and this agreement prohibit the illegal trade in these animals, certain animals. So tiger is also comes under this act agreement. So CITES agreement ban the illegal trade of these animals. Understood? So what is the category? It comes under the appendix 1. Appendix 1 is the highest category. Understood? Again, the third type of status is WPA listing. WPA means Wildlife Protection Act. Now WPA is the Government of India's act. Now WPA is created in order to protect the wildlife into the India. It have a different list. Among those lists, there are certain schedules. Schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. Schedule 1 having the highest protection. Schedule 5 having the least protection. That's how there are certain schedules. Okay. I am not discussing these agreements and acts here. So that's why I am just giving you brief information. है ना? So in India, Wildlife Protection Act placed this tiger into the Schedule 1. That means the highest level of protection provided by the government of India to the tiger. है ना? Now this shows their threatened status and their protection status. Okay. So we must understand what are these status, and commission have a tendency to ask question on such status. Okay. So from here onwards, I will just read the status of other animals also, because I have explained in brief here all those status. So just like tiger, there is a lion. Lion having a IUCN status as a vulnerable, correct? Endangered, and lion have a IUCN status as a vulnerable. Its CITES status is in the appendix 1. That means the highest level of protection is offered to the lion. Again, wildlife protection status is in Schedule 1, the same as with the tiger. Understood? So it's the status of the lion also. Jaguar, another animal. Its IUCN status is near threatened. That means they are not so threatened, near threatened, correct? That means they are some of the better position compared to these animals. Its CITES status is in appendix 1. That means the highest level of protection provided under the CITES, International Illegal Trade. WPA, Wildlife Protection Act status is not applicable. That means WPA Act does not consider jaguar in its list. Okay, so that's why not applicable. Let's move forward. Cheetah, recently introduced animal into the India. Cheetah, its IUCN status is vulnerable. Its CITES status is in the appendix 1, and its WPA status is in the Schedule 1. So these are the different status. Puma, okay, its status, IUCN status is least concern. That means it is not under great threat. Its CITES status is in appendix 1. It got highest protection, and in WPA listing it is not included into the act. That's why not applicable. है ना? प्युमा नावाचं जानवर भारतात सापडत नाही, त्याच्यामुळे WPA मध्ये पण त्याला इन्क्लूड केलेलं नाहीये, त्याच्यामुळे नॉट ऍप्लिकेबल लिहिलेलं आहे त्या ठिकाणी. नाउ द स्नो लेपर्ड, वी फाउंड स्नो लेपर्ड इन हिमालयाज, हिमालयन बेल्ट, है ना? Okay, now there is a question for you. I want you to comment and find answer and comment this question, comment the answer of this question, that where do India relocate the cheetah? Recently India relocate the cheetah na? Where do India relocate the cheetah? That's the small question, है ना? तुम्ही लोक काय करणार, कमेंट मध्ये त्याचा आन्सर लिहिणार त्या ठिकाणी. So Puma, after the snow leopard, found in the Himalayan belt in India, हिमालयन रीजन मध्ये सापडतो हा. Its IUCN status is vulnerable, its CITES status is in the appendix 1 and WPA status is in the schedule 1. My point is that they offered the highest level of protection and it's vulnerable also, है ना? That means याची पण शिकार होते म्हणून तो vulnerable आहे. Understood? Last is leopard, है ना? Leopard means what? आपण याला बिबट्या म्हणतो, correct? So its IUCN status is vulnerable. That means people are killing this animal also. Its CITES status is in the appendix 1 and WPA status in the schedule 1. Now, to summarize all this thing, we can conclude that all the 7 big cats got the highest level of protection in the CITES also, in the WPA also. So you do not need to mug up this status separately. Just consider them. All the 7 big cats got the highest level of protection in Wildlife Protection Act also and in CITES also, but their IUCN status are somewhat variable. So just look at those status. So that's a trick for you to understand all these status. So these are the 7 big cats. I hope so you understand about these things. Before going forward, there is a notification for you that Nyan Jyoti Education Pune have brought you a new batch in front of you. This batch is called as Nirman batch, and this batch is starting from the 21st April 2025. For further information, stay tuned with the video. I will explain the all features of this batch at the end of this session. Okay, so that is International Big Cat Alliance. Okay. Now moving to the next topic. The next topic is very, very important. This topic is called as Khalistan issue. Now this topic is covered in various topics, various subjects. For example, this topic belongs to the history also. This topic belongs to the internal security. So this topic can be covered in history and internal security as well in your preparation, in your syllabus. So this Khalistan movement is a very, very important thing. Why it is important thing? So you must have recently heard about some of the events happening throughout the world. Some of them happening in India, but majority of them are happening outside of India, and they got the highlights also. So recently our external affairs minister Jaishankar, he went to the London, and there are some people breach in the security, and they protested for the Khalistan issue. That's why this issue comes forth into the current affairs. Okay, so today I am going to talk about Khalistan issue. Khalistan issue काय, आपण हा इशू आज इथं मुळापासून समजण्याचा प्रयत्न करणार आहे. हा विषय आपल्या परीक्षेच्या दृष्टीने अत्यंत महत्त्वाचा असा विषय असणार आहे. का? कारण की हा विषय आपल्याला इतिहासात पण कामात येणार आहे, तसाच पद्धतीने हा इंटरनल सिक्युरिटी मध्ये पण कामात येणार आहे. खालिस्तान इशू इंटरनल सिक्युरिटी मध्ये आपण वेगवेगळे सब्जेक्ट डील करत असतो. वी डील विथ द डिफरंट सब्जेक्ट्स इनटू द इंटरनल सिक्युरिटी. फॉर एक्झाम्पल नक्सलिझम, then Khalistan issue, separatist tendency. In the separatist tendency, we also deal with the Khalistan issue. Okay. So what is this Khalistan issue? I will just explain you what is the recent news. The recent protest in London highlights the ongoing tension surrounding this movement. Correct. Recently, there was a huge protest in London. You must have heard about this. In the last year also, this Khalistani people gathered around the Indian embassy, and they bring down the flag of India also. है ना. So there was a huge skirmishes between this thing. Recently they conducted the referendum, है ना, in order to support their Khalistan issue. So this Khalistan issue is gaining momentum outside the India, and there are certain countries who are supporting these Khalistani issues also, and that's the problem for the India now, है ना. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar faced a security breach due to the pro-Khalistani movement, है ना. Then what is the Khalistan movement here? Basically, Khalistan movement is a separatist tendency. Let me explain you what is separatist tendency. Separatist tendencies are those tendencies present in India which wants to create a separate or sovereign region for their own community, है ना. सेपरेटिस्ट टेंडन्सी म्हणजे अशी टेंडन्सी असते की ज्याच्यामध्ये काही विशिष्ट विचाराचे लोक जे असतात ना, ते स्वतःचा स्वतंत्र असा भाग काढण्याचा प्रयत्न करतात. दे वॉन्ट देअर सेपरेट कंट्री, दे वॉन्ट देअर सेपरेट रिजन इन द नेम ऑफ पर्टिक्युलर इथनिसिटी, है ना. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, दिस Sikh people, particularly I am saying, they want a separate country for the Sikh on the Punjabi speaking people called as Khalistan, है ना. Now this includes India and Pakistan region also. Punjab is spread in present day Pakistan and present day India also. So they want to create or carve out a separate country in the name of Sikh religion, and that country will be known as a Khalistan. So this Khalistan movement is basically aim to create a separate Sikh country called as Khalistan. So this remind me the few tendencies in India also, right? Such kind of tendencies were present in India way before the independence also. So there are few peoples, particularly I am talking about Jinnah, who talk about two nations, है ना. He gave us two nation theory, that in the same geography there are two countries, Hindus and Muslim. In the same way these people are talking about now there is a third country also, that is Sikh, है ना. So first nation is Hindus, another nation is Muslims. Now they are creating another nation, है ना. Hindus and Muslims got separated in 1945, 1947, my mistake, in 1947. But then after, a new kind of separatist tendencies rise up into the India, and we called it as Khalistan movement. Understood? The basic demand by the Khalistan movement is to carve out or to create a separate country in the name of Sikh religion. Now this is not the only separatist tendencies going into the India, है ना. There are certain tendencies too available in India, too going on into the India, है ना. For example, the Nagas people are asking for the Nagalim, just like the Sikh people are asking for the Khalistan. Naga people in the North-East region, they are talking about Nagalim, a separate Naga autonomy state, correct. In the same way, back in 1990s, there was a protest, or there was a movement going on into the South India known as LITE, LTTE, correct. Now this LITE want to create a Tamil Ilam, that means a separate country for the Tamil speaking people or Tamil culture people. My point is that the separatist tendencies are present in India since independence or before independence, correct. So that's why it is counted into the internal security. But these separatist tendencies have a background which is a part of history. So that's why this topic is relevant in history as well as in internal security. Okay. So I hope so you understand the basics of the Khalistan movement, है ना. So Khalistan movement is a movement run by the Sikh community, not in India. There are few supporters in India, but majoritarily from outside of India, to carve out a separate Khalistan or Sikh country, which includes part of India as well as part of Pakistan, particularly Punjabi speaking people, Punjabi speaking region. Understood? So that is Khalistan, है ना. So the Khalistan issue was going on into the India. There are certain events also related to the Khalistan issue. For example, Operation Blue Star in 1984, Operation Black Thunder in 1986 and 1988. That means I am talking about some military actions here. So these Khalistani people also go beyond their limits, and they started to create a terrorist activity. And I'm talking about particularly in 1990s decade. So in 1990s decade, they made some terrorist attack, and hence military actions were taken by the government of India in order to suppress this separatist tendency. And some of the important operations are Operation Blue Star and Operation Black Thunder. I am going to brief you about these operations later words. Just hold on. Okay. Now, when does this Khalistan movement was origin? So soon after partition of India. So partition was the important point which sowed the seeds of this Khalistan issue. Why? Because when the partition happened, as many of you know that the partition happens at the two front. One front is on the northwest part of the India. That means Punjab was bifurcated into the two parts. One part went to the Pakistan, another part remained into the India. In the same way, another front for the partition is in the Bengal. Again, Bengal was divided. Correct? Eastern Bengal goes with the Eastern Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh, and the Western Bengal remain in India. We called it as West Bengal, Pachim Bengal right now. So that means India was partitioned in these two fronts, but the northwestern front, that is partition at the Punjab, was very, very dangerous. Lakhs of people were killed. Particularly, I am talking about Sikh community people, because Punjab was is their homeland. So when the Punjab got divided, many Sikh community need to migrate from India to Pakistan and Pakistan to India, vice versa. During that process, they have to left their properties also. They rendered homeless. They live as a refugee, and this created a crisis. And hence, during this crisis, the separate country for the Sikh community, this idea got born. You get my point? So these people who suffered the partition, now they thought that we should also have a separate country for us to protect our rights. And that's how the thoughts for Khalistan come forward. Okay. Jagjit Singh Chauhan is the important leader. Jagjit Singh Chauhan, particularly when he went to the London, from London he started the Khalistan movement. He was the key figure or the first phase of the Khalistan movement in India. Understood? So it was all started in the late 1960s, but it got momentum in 1980s and 90s. Correct? The movement was started from the partition. Now, what is their demand? These people demand autonomy. Autonomy means सार्वभौमत्व, अधिकार वहां पे. तर खालिस्तान लोकांना स्वतःचा स्वतंत्र असा देश पाहिजे, त्यांना स्वतःचा स्वतंत्र असा अधिकार पाहिजे त्या ठिकाणी. They want Sikh autonomy region there, and that's why they called it as Khalistan. Now, for this Khalistan demand, there is another person who is also important, called as Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale. Now, who is the Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale? Government of India says that the Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale was a terrorist who promoted this separatist tendency, and he made a terrorist attack in India. Particularly in 1982, the Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale hijacked the Golden Temple, the famous Golden Temple in India. Now, when the Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale hijacked the Golden Temple, then the government of India took an immediate action at that time, and they launched a military operation called as Operation Blue Star in 1984. So what is this Operation Blue Star? Basically, Operation Blue Star is a military action taken by the government of India against the Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, who wants a separate Khalistan from India. So government of India declared him as a terrorist and attacked on the Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, who was hide under the in the Golden Temple at that time, and that triggered a lot of riots in India after that, because many Sikh community hurt by the action of this government of India. Now at that time in 1984, when the Operation Blue Star were conducted, Prime Minister of the India was the Indira Gandhi at that time. So it was the Indira Gandhi's government decision to conduct a military action into the holy place for the Sikh community, and that hurt the whole Sikh community throughout the world, in India also and throughout the world also. That's why we see after the Operation Blue Star in 1984, there was immediate attack on the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, So 2 of the Sikh bodyguards of the Indira Gandhi killed Indira Gandhi as a response to the Operation Blue Star at that time. So that was the Operation Blue Star. So during the Operation Blue Star, Bhindranwala was killed during that activity, and that's how the Operation Blue Star was successful. After the Operation Blue Star, there was also certain operations, because these attacks were was not ending at that time. So whole 1980s decade was flooded with the terrorist attack by these Khalistani supporters in Punjab particularly. They attacked on the various Gurudwara, Golden Temple again and again. So that's why in 1986 and 88 also there was a military action. We called it as Operation Thunder. Just like Operation Blue Star, there is Operation Thunders also in 1986 and 88 also. So that was the story of Khalistan struggle in India. By the end of 1995, the Khalistan movement was quelled in India. है ना, पूर्णपणे तिला काय केली, भारत सरकारने स्वतःच्या कंट्रोल मध्ये आणली आणि दाबून टाकली त्या ठिकाणी. Because we cannot allow such separatist tendencies, है ना. We want to create an integrated India, है ना. Article 1 of the Indian Constitution clearly says that India is the union of state, union territory and acquired territory, है ना. We talk about integrity of the India. Then how we can allow this separatist tendency in India? In the same way, many people can ask for the separate country in different names, है ना. Some people can ask separate country in the name of language. Some people can ask the separate country in the name of religion also, है ना. Some people can ask the separate country in the name of development also. So there are many reasons to ask for a separate country, but we cannot allow this, na. So that's why hard action need to be taken, and those hard action taken by the government of India in Operation Blue Star and Operation Black Thunder. Okay, so that's Khalistan movement. So what is going on right now? So Khalistan movement literally absent in India. There are few events, there are few activists available active in India who support the Khalistan issue, but they are not in number. But the biggest problem for India is that now the Khalistan movement is supported by the foreign countries, and the countries which we consider as a friend of India, now they are supporting the Khalistan movement, and for example, India is constantly framing Canada for their support into the Khalistan movement. India is constantly framing even UK also to support their support to the Khalistan movement, है ना. So the concern for India is that the foreign countries now supporting the Khalistan movement in the name of free speech. In the name of free speech, they are supporting the separatist tendencies in India. Okay, so now that's the point of concern. That's why this topic is very, very relevant for your examination. Understood? So that's it about this topic. Okay, so let's talk about Nirman batch. Now what is this Nirman batch? Gyan Jyoti Education brought you Nirman batch. Now this Nirman batch is going to start from 21st of April 2025. Now this batch is available in two forms. One is 1 year integrated batch and 3 years foundation batch. Now what is this 1 year integrated batch? I will explain you one by one. The 1 year integrated batch basically cover your syllabus, prelims, mains as well as interview in an integrated 1 year batch. And the 3 year foundation batch is for those students who are undergraduate and who want to start their preparations while making their graduation. Okay, so for those students we are offering you a full foundation course which can cover your basic studies also, just like your NCRTs, then your prelims preparation, then your mains and interview preparation. Correct? Both the courses available in English as well as in Marathi language. Both the courses are available in online and in offline mode. You will get one-to-one mentorship also here. All the material, study books are available. If you subscribe to those course offline, then you will hand it over to, you will get your books from the institution. If you are applying for the online mode, then the books will be provided you at your homes. There will be home delivery of the books. For more information, you can just call on this number, that is 788 799 2834. I will repeat this number for you, 788-799-2834. Just give us a call on this number. You will get the relevant information regarding this batch. Thank you.